episode. Welcome to the Corn Corner podcast. I'm Cam Wren, and look, if there's 5G in the water, give me 2 glasses, if you know what I mean.
I'm Cam Damage, and do your teeth hurt when you go into Target, or is that just me?
And today, we are talking about something that is in the majority of homes across the world. We're talking about a dome that brings us brightness. We're talking about the overhead light in your room.
And it's not just in homes. It's also in, businesses, public establishments, law offices. It's a lot of places.
So get your law office together. Tell them to tune into the Corn Corner and, all right. Today, we're going to be chatting about the overhead light in different rooms, in different establishments. Now, Cam, do you know about this light?
I'm familiar with it, but it is one that I loathe and do not utilize. By and large,
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, if I walk into your home and it's the evening time, the sun is set, we're putting some ambient lighting on around the area. You put that overhead light on, I'm gonna walk right out the door. I'll tell you that much. I'm not gonna stay.
Your overall place of being is quite bright to me.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I meant it's quite dark. My brain is all googled up.
This is a new setup that we're doing here.
It's brand new, people. Brand new for the first time.
Yeah. We came in hot. I noticed there's no elevator music, which makes me feel really uncomfortable. But
we can get you a little bit of elevator music if you need it.
Could you pop it on? I just want one song while we're getting to the intro. I like a dim area in general. You
do.
I don't want people to see my details very well.
See, I'm the opposite in
that stuff.
I want to be able to see everything. I want to see it all. I want to be able to not in myself. I don't look at myself that much.
But other people are looking at you.
Usually I'm alone, though. I don't have a lot of other people with me.
What about Terry?
Terry honestly sleeps a lot throughout the day because he stays up so late at night. Everybody, we're talking about Terry Pinko. He's on the graveyard shift.
Yeah, we got to get a Terry cam all over there.
A Terry cam. When you were growing up, did you sit too close to the television?
No, but I feel like I sat too close to the computer screen religiously. Like, the television growing up was, did you have a den? Did you have a TV room?
No, not really. No, we didn't actually.
Where did you watch
at
TV?
All. In the living room. It wasn't.
That's what I mean. A living room, like the TV room. A living room.
Yeah, but a den to me is like an auxiliary room.
Oh, okay. Like where there's the armchairs and no one actually goes in there, but there's like a grandma's house and there's some candy on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I feel like when we were growing up, the TV was at a certain distance across from a coffee table or something, and then you're on the couch.
I guess for us, we like, I don't know. I think that's not a very southern thing to have like these kind of quadrant style living areas. Ours was like you walk in and it was just like a living room, and the TV was like in the middle of the living room, and then there was like a couch, like
in the middle of the living room.
Well, like the middle wall. Like if there was a wall, it was like here.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the couch was here and the door was here. You just walk right into it.
The door's from above.
It was a brutal way to get into the place.
You've heard of shotgun houses now. Get ready for burrow houses. That's what they have, actually.
Are there a lot of shotgun houses in PA?
No, but in Maryland they have, they're not called shotgun houses. They're called row homes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like because shotgun houses are separate. Like there's like the room, there's like the little bit of distance in between each home. Like even it's like a foot of.
Yeah.
But the row homes are connected. Like it's all the same thing.
I think that's kind of like an old classic New Orleans type of thing. Like that's very, very, very common in like Algiers. if you will.
if I may.
If you will. They're classic and they're very cool and they're very nice.
Anyway, though, back on the subject of the at hand of being too close to the screen, which has a lot to do with overhead lights, as you know.
I think it does. I think there's a correlation here.
I think that we were too close to computer screens growing up.
Yeah, but did your mom or dad tell you back up?
No, not from the TV, because that wasn't an option.
I guess you didn't have video games in your room.
And I did, but we played video games. We didn't start playing video games on TVs until like we had the basement TV.
Okay.
Like the kid hangout zone once the basement got finished and whatever. But the basement TV was like up on the wall and you would sit like on the floor or on the couch or like on the coffee table to play it. So you're still like 5 or whatever feet away from it. And when I played video games in my room, I had a tiny TV and would sit on my bed. So I was still like,
that makes sense.
yeah. But then if it was my computer screen, I was like,
I guess my thought here is that to me, the idea, like, I always got told to back up. I was always right up on that TV. And I think it was because I wanted to be able to see things better. Also, now I'm realizing that I got glasses quite late. And I remember...
did you need corrective lenses?
I think I did. And I remember I used to get a headache and told mom, I was like, you getting headaches? And she's like, well, maybe we need to get you glasses. And then I went and got glasses.
Sit in school? Like, did you have to sit in front at school?
No, because at that point I got glasses and I was good.
But you couldn't see until like you got glasses in 8th grade or something, like ridiculously late.
I think it was like was it nearsighted or farsighted? Like I could see the board.
Near as you can't see far away, far as you can't see near.
Let me see. I can read stuff close to me.
So you're nearsighted. Like you can't the thing means what you can see.
Okay, then I'm nearsighted. But I can't I can see stuff far, I just get a headache.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I just remember when I was in like 3rd or I don't know, maybe it was later than that, 5th grade, maybe there was a point when I was sitting in the back and my teacher realized that I like couldn't see the board ever. Like I was constantly like,
yeah.
And like I got moved to the front and then I went and got contacts and glasses. But anyway, talking about overhead lighting, school.
I'll tell you that
classrooms.
You probably didn't like that, did you?
I hated that. That was real bad. There's like, I have such vivid memory. I don't know why specifically of going to do the SATs in high school. And like, you went at like 7 a.m. or some shit to the school or wherever it was being proctored. And like, you feel like dog shit because it's the SATs. You don't want to be there. It was like my 3rd or 4th time taking them or something because I had been taking them for practice and stuff. And all the overhead light and taking the test and it all being like,
yeah.
It's all terrible.
I think that I use the overhead light because I grew up with an overhead light in my room and I just assumed like, oh, this is what you do. Like I didn't, also my whole family used the overhead light. So like I never had the concept of like mood lighting or like cute lighting, like a little lamp.
Did you have lamps at all growing up?
We did, but they were never like on. Because
so what were they doing?
They're just there and maybe they would be on, but also the overhead light would be on too.
Were they decorative? Like
yeah, they were like cute
glass or like
they were like cute lamps. They weren't like also in the South, there's ceiling fans. Did you have ceiling fans growing up?
No, because in Pennsylvania, like it gets cold,
Yeah, see, in the South, it's like every room has a ceiling fan.
Yeah,
and I
mean, that's kind of like here.
Yeah, there are a lot of ceiling fans in LA. I remember my mom going on a tirade to get rid of all the ceiling fans. She hated them.
We're not going to go into that. I mean, I got rid of mine in my room, so I feel her. I understand.
But think that I didn't learn about cool little mood lighting because it was never something that I saw. It was like,
So like you, I'm trying to think of like going through life with lighting, like whatever. So you like went to college and lived in like a dorm situation, although I know yours was like unique in a
I
way.
overhead light the whole time. I had an overhead light.
Wild.
But
It's crazy.
the weird thing is that I've stopped overhead lights because in LA, when I like moved here, when I lived in Florida for a bit, overhead light. But then when I moved to LA, there was no overhead light in like any place in any place I lived here.
Huh.
I guess
There's in your place. Yeah, there is.
no, there's not. Not currently.
In the kitchen, that's it.
Yeah, but a kitchen's different though. A kitchen's gonna have overhead lighting. I mean the bedrooms.
Wall sconces and stuff.
I have one wall sconce in the living room, which is a little bit goofy. But the bedrooms, no overhead lights.
I guess I never noticed that.
And that's pretty common.
Any lights built in your bedroom? Now I'm like, wait,
no,
what? Like,
not a single light.
That's so weird. So you just like walked in and were like, not a light. I gotta get some lamps in here.
But that is common in apartments in Los Angeles. I'm realizing now. All the apartments that I've lived in, none of them had overhead lighting in them. But
that's so weird.
The houses do. Like you have
ours does.
Yes. And the house, like when I've lived in houses in LA, they've had overhead lighting.
That is an interesting thing. But never will I turn them on. And if I walk into a room with them on, I'm like, every room in my house has like at least 2 lamps.
Yeah.
So it can be like lit from different places or whatever. And nary an overhead light. The kitchen's the only place that it is. Do you like, so I think my thing with overhead light is one of my, what's the word I'm looking for? Like my sensory input, my overload things is heavily light based. So like if I go into a Target, for instance, like the amount of inputs there, because there's like the smell of whatever, like that's the perfume aisle, whatever, who cares? And then there's
like,
the music.
I know the perfume aisle well.
You go there. Yeah. You got to get your Britney Spears fantasy on.
What is that one that everyone wore growing up? What is that one?
The Victoria's Secret one?
What's it called? What's the name of it?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I can smell it because it was like everyone who like smoked in their car or smoked like weed or whatever would just douse themselves in it, like to try to cover it up. It's something Victoria's Secret. Anyway, but then there's like all the people, and then there's overhead lights, and there's the music that I have no control over, and it's just like a hell of sensory input. But the overhead light is such a big one because it's like blaring, and I feel like they like strobe in ways that we don't actually perceive, but it messes up your like little brain and stuff, and it like hurts your eyeballs. Like I feel like it's like like
yeah, I could see that. I guess when I go in somewhere like Target or something, like I just like I don't mind it because I'm like, this is so full of life. Like I'm
joie
like
de vivre.
This is culture, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I'm just like
I'm of the people.
No, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, it just feels, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I kind of don't hate it because I'm like, it is a lot, but I'm like, it's temporary.
I also feel like it lends to like making spaces more disconcerting depending on what it is, like a public rest stop bathroom. Like when it could be full daytime, a lovely day out, you stop on the shoulder, pull off on the rest area, and then you walk into the bathroom and there's no lights in there and it's just the overhead, and you're like suddenly in a horror movie or something. Like you need to check that no one else is in a stall next to you and make sure you're not going to get like murked or something.
Yeah, but I feel like it's important because you gotta be able to see to clean it. You can't have lamps in that place.
Well, no, of course. I'm not saying that there's a better option
Yeah.
like than the overhead light. I'm just saying it lends to a certain ambiance,
Yeah.
an odd sterility of things
But
because
like,
it makes yeah.
no, go you're saying you said it
I
makes.
was and it like makes it's like an industrial
Yeah.
and that's why I think I don't like it in homes because it's like where are the places that overhead lighting is required because there's no other options.
That
And
makes
it's
sense.
like, yeah, like hospitals, warehouses, stores, da ba ba ba. Because like, can you imagine if hospitals just had like lamps?
Lamps. It's like a
You're in
vibe.
the ER and you're like, could you dim my lamp? Like, I mean, they do in like maternity suites. They do have lamps, but anyway,
Yeah, but not in
not
the.
normal. Yeah,
Yeah. You're like, I need all the light I can get in that place.
yeah, totally.
Do you like so okay, so you're building, let's say you can build a dream room. Are you gonna put any lights in the walls at all?
Like sconces in the walls.
You can do anything. Like, are you gonna build lighting into a switch? Or are you gonna have it all in a outside lamp that you?
I feel like you have to have one built into a switch for utility. Like, because there's always something that happens where you like have to have the overhead turned on because you're looking for
Yeah.
something or you need like the full visibility. But it would be rarely used, I will say.
There's task lighting.
Is that what you do with your modes in the living room and stuff?
Well, that's a whole thing. But when I was like trying to research lighting and like how to do it properly, I found this one YouTube channel. It was awesome. And she talked about all these different kinds of lighting that you would have, like task-based lighting and then this kind of lighting and like ambient lighting, all these different things to like accomplish stuff.
Yeah.
And but you brought up, so I have all the LAFX lights, like Lilifix lights or whatever, and I've ignored. When that like trend started like forever ago, I bought one of them because the place I was living, like we had a little hub thing, and it was annoying as fuck because you
You're
gotta
talking
get
about
on
the ones that you do the settings on your phone, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
hated it because like it didn't work very well and you had to like get in, do it on the app. So I was like, fuck this, and I gave the bulb to like my friend who had the little hub. Anyway, so recently I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do all my lights, these Lilifix bulbs. Smart bulbs. And when they work, it's amazing because they change with the color temperatures of the day. So the morning is like really cool and really bright. And then as the sun sets, the app will change the lights and make it change color temperatures properly. And then they all go off at midnight and it's cool.
And is that a thing you set or does it do that intuitively with the color temperatures and shit?
You can make it do it intuitively, like throughout the day. But you can also set it you can customize it pretty well. But what I'm getting to is like, they don't always work right. Like they get hung up.
Yeah. Yours go crazy sometimes.
Yeah, like especially the light of the string, as I call it. There's these string lights, light of the string, and they do not like to match up with the app very much. And there's one bulb I have in one of my favorite lamps, and it doesn't work, and I can't get it to reconnect. And it's like I've got too many of these bulbs, but I think I have like 3 of them in the living room that don't work right now.
There's like 5 light sources in your living room, so the majority of them do not work.
Well, I have behind that big mirror, I have 2 of them, and then one of those doesn't work. Also, the cute little yellow lamp doesn't work. And
the glass one.
And then and I always have that lamp on because it's just cute and it's like really low. It's just kind of like a little moody lamp, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then also one of my light of the strings comes in and out constantly. It sucks.
Sounds like you need to revamp your light situation.
Yeah, if I could go back in time, I probably would not have gotten them.
I think I had them when we did rope when we were rope people.
Yes.
I had the ones outside my rope space were those that you can control with the phone, but they would like go nuts. And then if they disconnect and you have to reconnect, they're like, the light will flash so you can reconnect. And it would just like randomly start flashing. And like nothing's better when you're hanging upside down than a light flashing, strobing in your face.
Yeah, it just like I don't know. And it's also hard to do because once you do it, like when you have the initial rush of being like, "Hey, let's do it," and you have a bunch of them and you set them all up, you'll spend like the day doing it. But then once I get fucked up and like, you don't want to do it again.
Yeah,
you know that
you just
sucks.
gotta get normal. I go with the Edison bulbs because they got character.
Yeah, they do,
and that's what I like. I probably need to get another lamp in this room, frankly, but I've got 3 lamps in this room, and then my little lights of string, as you like to call them affectionately. Yes.
Yeah. Is that what is that little twinkly light behind you? Is it twinkly, or is that just what the setting's doing, or what the camera?
It's not twinkling in real life. That's what the camera's doing.
It looks honestly though, it looks awesome.
It's a little magical right now. I just bought also star ones, like that little, like they're star shaped lights that hang that I'm gonna put under there too, because I'm making that little even cozier. And then there's a little mushroom, which I don't think you can't see it, but I have a little mushroom light. Yeah,
that's great. I kind of want to get some little light of the strings to hang back here. I think it'd be very cute.
I think we could improve the lighting scheme in your room a lot.
Yeah.
It could be good.
Do you think that you will ever hit a point in your life in which you'll start to use an overhead light?
No.
Do you think that there's a way we can improve the overhead light?
I think that if all of them were on dimmers, that'd be like one thing. Like and if they weren't all bare bulb,
yes,
that would also be helpful, because most of them do have like a frosted dome, if I may, but some of them are just the weird recessed ones, like in kitchens, where it's like whatever, but then the bulb is just like there. And I think that's a bit aggressive and offensive, you know?
Did I tell you about when I went to my parents in New Orleans house and the lights? I guess this is kind of funny with the context, knowing that my family's weird about overhead lighting. But I hadn't been here yet. I hadn't like seen like the house because they moved and stuff like that. So essentially, they put in LED lights in the ceiling, like recessed LED lights, and they have them really, really close, like way too close, and way too many lights. There's like gonna be 25 lights in the ceiling. It's insane.
How big are they? Like, how big are the bulbs?
No, like normal size.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It's just so many, and I'm like, why did this happen?
In a 20 by 20 room or something?
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it's insane. And again, like throughout this conversation that we've had, we've really learned a lot about our light preferences. And for me, I don't really care. I'll go with anything. But this was like, it was just too much for me.
Bad. Yeah.
Because
remember when like track lighting? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And that was like very popular for a weird time. And why? Because we didn't move the lights on the tracks. The lights were there and they stayed there.
Yeah. I don't know.
One was like, could you track them down the island? Like,
I had track lighting in a kitchen that I lived in, and I loved it because I could really pinpoint where I wanted like the little spotlight to go to on the.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But it gets so dirty too. What?
Oh, why? What?
There's a lot of dust and like fat and oil and stuff like that gets in the air that can like in the kitchen that can get on it.
Disgusting. The over stove light. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
You don't want any part of that.
You don't want no part of this, do we?
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. I kind of gave you a little reference.
You hit me a soft one.
Yeah. You went ding.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about the sun, God's overhead light?
Did you make that up?
I did.
It's really
I mean, I'm
funny.
sure someone else could have said it, but we'll take credit for it.
I love it. I try to get a little bit of sun on me every day I can.
Yeah.
I don't.
Except not back there is the problem.
No, there's no sun back here, but you know what? That's fine. I'll go and stand out in it though, and I'll feel it upon my body, and I like that upon the skin.
Yeah.
I don't like what it does. When you don't wear sunblock. You have
Do
to
you
wear
wear
sunblock
every day?
if I go outside. And it also if I'm being good, but a lot of times I'm not good. I was gonna say surfing. I wear this zinc sunblock. It's wild. It's so thick.
Yeah, you look like fucking Mark Zuckerberg on that. You remember that picture?
Yeah.
He's like, huh?
I saw a picture of Mark Zuckerberg doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
How nerdy did that look?
He didn't look that... I mean, he looks nerdy because you know that it's Mark Zuckerberg, but he didn't look that nerdy, like, overall. But, it's hard because you know it's Mark Zuckerberg, and you're like, fuck this guy. So...
Yeah. I'd like to see a video of him grappling, because I bet it's like hilarious.
It's pretty funny. Anyway, I
still want to do BJJ. Side note.
Have you seen the video of him when he's talking about the meat on the meat chef?
Yeah, sweet baby Ray's.
Now we apply the sweet baby Ray's.
I forget what he says. He says something that's absolutely fucking psychotic, though. Like,
everything he says in that video is weird.
And I feel like it's all real. Like that was all a legit thing that he was doing, which is wild.
That video, for everybody that doesn't know, is this video of Mark Zuckerberg. He did it on Facebook Live, and it's him, his wife, and his friend, and they're smoking meats. And he has a green egg smoker, and he has another smoker. And he's smoking salmon, and he's smoking some other meat, I forget. And in true Zuckerberg fashion, it's just all is like a little bit off.
Yeah, it's just left to center.
And he talks about, first off, the one thing that is weird to me, I don't know where they are.
That's such a good point. Yeah, it's like the whole thing is extremely disconcerting. One, the use of the big green egg, which I wouldn't think exists anymore. Like that was like when we were kids.
Oh, they're great.
Like,
yeah,
that's what my dad wanted.
They're alive and well. They're doing good.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, if Zook's got one, then you know it's good.
It's a trendy device.
Yeah, but that's what I look at as a trendy device, like someone who wants to grill and smoke stuff and like be an aficionado, but like they don't know what the fuck they're actually doing. But they're like, well, this costs like $7,000, so it must be good. Like
the place that they are is so strange though, because it looks like they set up like a backyard set. There's like a fence behind them, I think. I might be remembering it improperly, but I think there's like a wooden fence somewhere. I forget.
Yeah. And but it's like on adult sets when they have like the wall of leaves.
Yeah, like, it doesn't like feel that. Real. Like it doesn't feel like something that he would have access to in his $1 billion home. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then he talks about Sweet Baby Ray's profusely.
Yeah.
Profusely.
For the majority of it, of whatever that clip is, lengthwise.
And the ways that he speaks about the sauce is so strange. Because he says, we are now applying the Sweet Baby Ray's.
Hold on, I'm looking up.
And like, no one says that. No one does that. It's weird. But someone has, and then he's like, I'm the meat chef. Anyway, someone's made a song about it, and it's a really fun song. I would highly recommend this song.
Smoked meats.
Smoking those meats.
Is that the song?
Meat like a brisket. Yeah, that's the song. Now I'm remembering it. Oh, he's smoking brisket. That's what he's doing.
Smoking meats. It's so weird.
Smoking those meats.
God, great. The picture of him is so disconcerting. It really is the weirdest setup. It's like a weird faux wood wall. Like that they like stapled up just for the occasion or something.
Yeah.
Like, and then there's like your dad's lawn chairs, like that you take to the softball game and shit.
Yeah, I just don't
Like-
believe that any of this. It just doesn't feel. It's like
Real in any way.
I'm thinking about people that are like, you know, very wealthy, saying like, hey, I'm gonna go smoke meats. We're gonna do a barbecue. It would never be like this.
No.
But this man is wealthy to a degree that is,
Disgusting.
Yes. There's no way that he would do this.
No.
Anyway, we've been on
It's
this for a long
absurd.
time. It is absurd.
Well, you got me talking about old Zooks. I'm gonna go off on it. Go off on Facebook and what it was actually created for. And no one ever thinks about that anymore.
No one does think about it. We've moved past it. He's grown.
Has he?
No. So I would be curious what the lighting situation in his home is.
I wonder what his house even looks like.
I don't know what it looks like, but I'd be curious because you can have anything on the planet. What are you gonna do with the lighting in that place?
Well, he looks like he lives in like a McMansion. He's got every overhead light blast in everything. Like he's not using those rooms. He ain't been in that room, and he's not been on that wing of the home because they refer to them as wings. I'm certain.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Make sure you join the Discord and the Patreon, and also have fun there when you join. So we're talking about the overhead light. Now, Cam hates it. I love it. I'll use it.
You actually love it?
I don't love it. It's there. You know what I mean? If I had someone come and design the lighting, I would let them design the lighting. Now, I do. Okay. Oh, I wanted to finish this little antidote about my.
Antidote.
Yep. About this. It's an antidote about my dad's house. So the worst part about it to me was that the color temperature didn't change. So it was like super cool at night. And to me, that is the worst part about it all. Is like when it's the color temperature has to change.
Yeah.
At night. It has to be more warm. Because that'll mess me up.
Yeah.
In my brain.
That's why it's like I feel like all overhead lighting is just the cold. And that's why it makes me think of like sterility and industrial and I'm walking through the hospital trying to get to the floor my dad works on.
Yeah, room D.
And like, hey Barb, can you buzz me through? Anyway.
Yeah. Would they do that? Would they do that?
Yeah.
That's fun. You can pop on through.
I was just a child meandering through the hospital.
There was a hospital right where I went to school, and there was a restaurant by that place. And I remember I used to go to that restaurant, and there was always people that were working at the hospital eating lunch there. And that freaked me out because I was like, how are y'all not grossed out? Because you saw like...
What do you mean?
Because like you were at a hospital. And to me, like growing up, hospital was like so gross. Because like I was really squeamish. And so...
I need more info.
Like they would eat in their scrubs and stuff. And I remember thinking to myself like... And now I realize like, okay, these people, like everyone wears scrubs. You could work at the front desk and you're going to wear scrubs probably. Like I didn't know that as a kid. So I just kind of would
also
think,
if they get stuff on them, they change them often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't fathom the idea of being like doing hospital things and then going to eat.
Outside of it.
Yeah, like then going to eat. It's like, I don't know. I couldn't. I was so easily like grossed out growing up.
So do you think they all should have like packed their lunches and like kept it in the in those four walls?
No. 4 walls. Don't leave it. No. I know that they have to eat. If you work at a hospital, people, you do have to eat food, but it did just kind of make me feel like,
So
You
in your
understand.
brain,
You understand.
no, I do know what you're getting
no,
at. I know, yeah. I do know what you're getting at. It's just funny to me to conceptualize, like, in your brain, you're like, go into, like, hypothetically Chipotle next to the hospital, and there's like a few nurses there in scrubs or something, and you're like, they are covered in bodily waste.
Well, even like I think I would just put myself into their like places where I was like, okay, like I'm in the hospital doing hospital things. And like I used to be grossed out just to go into like bathrooms as a kid. I was like really grossed out. So it's like going to hospital for me was like really scary.
Yeah.
So it was, I guess, the thought of like eating, which is like a really like vulnerable, intimate act. And then, you know, mixing that with like a bathroom or a hospital was like hard for me.
I'm sure they wash their hands before they go.
Yeah, I understand that they did. You know, like my mom used to do stuff where she would be like, they would like seat us at a restaurant and it would be by the bathroom. She'd be like, yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near the bathroom. So it was like,
I could feel that. Like, I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah, totally. Like, I get it. I'm just saying, it's like as a kid, I think I kind of got
weird about it.
I was like, I kind of piggybacked on that, where I was like, oh, this is modeled for me, and you know, my dad was different. Like, my dad didn't care about that stuff.
That's like, I don't want to sit near the bathroom on an airplane or the bus, like, or frankly anywhere. But yeah,
it's funny because on an airplane, I will usually get the seat by the bathroom because the stress of having to constantly be like, is now the time?
Worst.
And you're like,
you're worse.
If you're in like, you know, 1D and the bathroom's all the way in the back, you're like, you have all these people that you have to like try to get in front of. It's so stressful. So I'll actually sit right by the bathroom on purpose.
It truly is the worst. Although I've had a lot of really good interactions standing back at the bathroom with people. It's always such a funny little micro conversation that happens. It is
funny.
I forget last time it was like me and two old guys, and one of them kept making jokes about like women taking too long in the bathroom, and I was like, "Not us, buddy. Am I right?"
We just like a couple boys over here, baby.
We're just hanging out. I don't get what those dames are doing in there.
So, you saw the dude triggered grills, or?
Yeah, I don't. Just that new Marvel movie.
Yeah, that's something old men love. A grill, yeah, a Traeger or something like that.
I don't know what that is.
It's this trendy grill company.
Okay.
Anyway, it's funny. I keep looking at your background, and I keep thinking that it's like, you know, when you're on a Zoom call and some people do a funny little thing where they'll put themselves in a green screen.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like that, but I don't have my glasses on either. So everything's
it all comes full circle with the glasses.
When you go to the optometrist, when's the last time you've been?
Probably like 3 years ago.
That seems right.
Yeah.
You should go.
Prescriptions are usually every like 2 or 3 years or something.
I think they're like every year.
Oh, well. You know.
Well, we should get an optometrist on the show.
For what?
To talk about different ways the eyes work. A lot of people don't understand it. It's one of the biggest marvels of the world.
Yeah, sure.
Listen,
cones and rods, baby.
Do you have an astigmatism?
I do.
That's nice.
I hate it. It's bad. It makes my night vision even worse than it already is.
Wow, that has to be hard.
Really night blind. It is.
Wow. What are some things you do to overcome that?
Nothing.
Wow. You don't even wear your glasses.
Hardly ever. Actually, I had been wearing them at the friend's house to watch movies because the TV is very far away from the couch, so I needed to wear them. But
do you want to know something? My TV in the living room is too high.
Yeah.
But it was high. It was low in the appropriate place. But then I moved it up because I had like a reading area there, and I was like, that's more important to me. And I wanted to be able to see from the kitchen. But now I'm like, I don't use that reading area, so now I'm like, damn, that TV just feels so dumb up there.
It's like the one in Seattle at our second house that was on top of the fireplace that you're literally like,
oh, yeah.
Like in the movie theater being like, yeah,
so high. There's a whole Reddit page about TVs that are too high.
Oh yeah,
It's so funny.
You and Briarbite have sent me stuff from that before, and it's so funny.
It is so fucking funny. But yeah, that was that place for sure. That thing was so high.
I think it was crazy high. You know what else is high? Overhead lights.
Overhead lights are at the top of the ceiling.
As high as you can get in a home without going into the crawl space above the...
Why do you think that apartments don't have overhead lights in them?
I don't really know. I never considered it. I always thought yours did in all the rooms, but like now I think about it and it clearly doesn't. Maybe it's something electrical that's like harder to manage or something. That sounds made up also.
It does make sense though. It seems like more work and they're not going to do that. Now, I'm happy that there's no overhead light here though, because it would be so annoying to never use it.
What?
But I'm
like
saying,
to have it and never utilize it?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like if you're wasting it?
Like right now, how the light's set up in this room, it's fine. I don't need the overhead light. I learned to adapt without it. So I'm happy that it's not here, so I don't use it and never have it and never use it. That would be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I guess. The way you worded it sounded like you're like, it would be so annoying to have an overhead light because it would go to waste.
It would just
like,
be there.
That's how it seemed.
Yeah.
And like, what? Like, I have mine. I took my fan out and put in a different, really small footprint one.
Yeah.
And that shit is never on.
Do you want to show it to us? Turn it on.
I can't.
All right.
Turn my
All right.
camera
Maybe we can get an overhead light reveal soon.
An insert into this, maybe.
That'd be pretty great, honestly. I think people would really love to see that.
It took us an hour and a half to set up this whole situation. I'm not moving my camera 1 fucking centimeter.
Well, you're gonna have to eventually.
Yeah, eventually after we're done this. But
what about a light switch that is in the wall that controls one of the outlets that you can put a lamp into? Have you ever heard about these? You've heard about them?
I have. Yeah. I like that because then you can always have your lamps on the settings that you like and stuff. And then you just hit the switch and it's like God's light app.
It's like God's. Honestly, though, it does kind of work a little bit better because as is, one of the worst parts about having the lights app is that like when you are in the living room, we have to go and turn off manually every light, and that's sacrilegious to do via the app. That like, don't do it. Just turn it off in the app. But the issue is that if I do that, I can't reprogram the cycle to stop and not come on in the morning.
Yeah. It's all a mess. You got yourself in a weird techno loop.
I did, and I regret it. But yeah, it's where we're at.
Gotta go back to analog.
I don't think that's gonna happen because I'm already here. And I always avoid this shit, but I got sucked in this time. I was like, you know what? It's gonna be better. People do it. That's what I told myself. People do this kind of thing all the time. That's what I told myself. And now look at me.
Give you light bulbs. Like I have a lot of light bulbs that you can replace those with.
Maybe we'll try it, but I got a feeling that's not gonna be something I like.
Probably not.
Hey. Well, listen. Do you have any closing thoughts on maybe lights?
If I come into your home and you have an overhead light on, I'm going to tear it out of the ceiling. I'm going to jump right up there. I'm going to just tear it right out, and I'm going to storm out. That's it.
Can you reach the ceiling?
Yeah. If I've got the gumption, I'll get up there.
Well, everybody, listen. Shout out to overhead lights across the world. And even if you use an overhead light, you could be shucked.
Or creamed.
But it does not particularly matter.
What kind of corn you are.
As long as you're a kind corn.
Corn.
All right, people.